You've got thousands of people who are walking away from the Democratic Party saying, this is the reason why. If the Democratic Party and the people on the left had a single functioning brain cell in their head, what I've done here basically for them is done all the work of creating a focus group for them. I mean, if any of them simply went to the page and watched the video testimonials of the people telling them exactly where the Democratic Party has gone wrong, I mean, this could actually be an incredibly useful tool for the Democratic Party. But are they going to take this opportunity? Are they going to use it? No, they're going to close their eyes and close their ears and say, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. Well, it is happening. It's still happening. It's going to continue to happen until you change your party. Hi, my name is Brandon Strock, and I'm the founder of the #WalkAway campaign. After Donald Trump was elected, I was devastated. I voted for Hillary, and I was one of those people who was going on social media, crying, making videos. I was on Facebook. It caused a traumatic response in me that had me shaken to my core. I grew up in a small town in Nebraska, so I knew a lot of the people that I grew up with had voted for Donald Trump. And I was really on a quest to try to understand, why did they vote for this man who was a racist, who was a bigot? And after I sort of ranted about this, somebody who's known me my whole life, and she herself is a lifelong conservative, came to me privately in the most delicate way and sort of sent me this link to a YouTube video. And the video was entitled, "Debunking that Trump Mocked the Disabled Reporter." Now, I saw this, just the title of the video, and I almost still sort of had that liberal rage inside of me that sort of thought, I can't wait to watch this and then tell her how stupid she is for being brainwashed, by this idiocy. And what happened next was that I watched the video, and it was a compilation of footage going back probably more than 10 years of Donald Trump doing that exact same voice and that exact same gesture numerous times in numerous circumstances when he was imitating somebody who'd been caught in a lie.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
And it became clear to me that he didn't mock that man's disability whatsoever. Yes, the man was disabled, but what he was really doing was making fun of the fact that this person who happened to be disabled was caught in a lie. It blew my mind. I even found footage where there were groups of black people who went to Trump's rallies to support him. And when the media got there, they actually framed up the shot to cut the black people out so that it appeared that there were only white people there. So once I found this out, I started to see that I had been incredibly, unkind and judgmental towards all of these people in the country who I thought were horrible people, because the media had made me believe, that these people were terrible people, when in fact it wasn't true. I started reaching out to friends, and I started reaching out to, liberal family, or even just people that I live with in New York City. So I started trying to, say to people, what do you think about this? Have you read this? Have you seen this? Well, what I got in response were people being incredibly hostile and, treating me with a lot of contempt for even simply asking questions. It was almost as if they were saying, why are you showing me this thing that's making it harder for me to hate him? People were starting to disengage with me. They were starting to cut me off in real life. They were starting to cut me off on social media. There were all of these different things that people were saying about me in order to be able to justify that I, had sort of walked away from the camp and that I walked away from the groupthink. I became a liberal because I am against racism. I'm against, judging people based off of their sexual orientation or their gender. But what I started to see happening more and more all the time were these very same behaviors sort of in the reverse of what is, stereotypical. I don't think that being hostile towards heterosexual people helps gay people. I don't think that being hostile towards men empowers women. I don't think that, being hostile towards white people empowers black people. I don't think that they realize that they embrace hate. However, they've allowed themselves to feel entitled to this behavior because they think that they themselves are doing something virtuous. The left practices tolerance and practices diversity in the most superficial ways only. They do not practice tolerance or diversity whatsoever when it comes to, individual thought or personal beliefs. If you express an opinion that's outside of what is their ideology, there is no tolerance and there is no diversity. Why do I have to subscribe to a dogma or an ideology that's spoon-fed to me by the left if I'm an empowered, individual and gay man? So I had really reached my boiling point by the beginning of 2018. I thought, I'm going to sit down and write what I call the definitive manifesto of everything that's wrong with liberalism, everything that's wrong with the Democratic Party, and I'm going to shoot a video, and I'm going to put it out there. I sat down and I wrote a script, and in the script, I ended it by saying, so I'm walking away from the Democratic Party and liberalism, and I encourage all of you to do the same, walk away. Maybe if I open this up and said, maybe other people will draw courage from seeing that I've created this video, and maybe they'll be willing to speak out too. And I thought maybe what I could do is create a video campaign, a testimonial campaign, where other people can create their own videos and tell their own stories, whether it be people on the left who are fed up with, toxic liberal ideology and what the Democrats are up to and who are ready to walk away, and also for people on the right who are sick to death of, being called racists and bigots. Maybe it's time for the silent majority to become unsilent and to tell their stories. Sit down in front of their cameras and say, look, this is what it really means to be a conservative. These are what my core values really are. And by the way, not only am I not a racist, not only am I not a bigot, but we would love to have black people over here on the right with us. We would love to have gay people over here on the right with us. We are an open and inclusive Republican Party or conservative movement. This is what we want. And when I released the video on Facebook, I created a group page, which is called the #WalkAway campaign group page. And that's where I launched the testimonial campaign. And at this point now we have thousands of testimonials from people on both sides telling their story. I wanted to make a quick video explaining why I walked away.
Today I'm gonna share with you my walk away story.
We have left the Democratic plantation. We are off the plantation. #WalkAway.
I had to walk away from the Democratic Party.
The majority of the stories that have come out on the left-wing media saying that it's Russian propaganda, saying that it's paid actors. Now, of course, they always had the option to simply go to the #WalkAway campaign page on Facebook, look at the real video testimonials of real people. There are thousands of them on there telling their stories, and but they chose not to do that. No one ever reached out to me for a comment. No one ever reached out to me to ask my perspective as the founder of the campaign. So within the last few months, the #WalkAway campaign has continued to grow and grow. There are a lot of really high-profile people who are very enthusiastic about what we're doing. As Walkaway grows, we're going to need the help of all of those people and the involvement and the support of as many people as possible. So within the last, I want to assemble a really dynamic, incredible team of Walkaway speakers, people who have really amazing stories, and let's get people out on the road. Let's get them in college campuses. The current university educational system, it's so liberally biased. And I'm getting stories all the time from heartbroken parents who are writing to me and saying, I don't recognize my kid anymore. And the socialism lies and the communism lies, all of these things that kids are being taught now in universities, they need to hear an alternative perspective. But one thing I'm incredibly optimistic about is that the #WalkAway campaign has really created an atmosphere and a space where people of varied beliefs are coming together and engaging in civil discourse and engaging in conversation that's respectful and it's polite and treating each other with dignity. The Walkaway campaign is not an ultimate destination. It's not a belief system. And people have sort of remembered what it means to be an American and to celebrate that we have diverse opinions and that we can engage in these different opinions and debates in a way that we respect one another. As that type of behavior and that atmosphere continues to grow and grow, and it is, our group is growing every single day, I think people are going to be left with two different options that they can look at. They can say, do I want to be in this type of environment where we don't all have to agree, but we do all have to respect each other and treat each other with dignity? Or do I want to be in this other group where people are spitting on each other, throwing drinks in each other's face, punching each other, screaming at each other, calling each other names, cutting off their parents, cutting off their friends? Which one is more attractive to you? What's your choice? What group do you want to be in?